So, last we left off, we had a bit of a shorter session, but that's cool. Let's see. Lish and Demir fucked off into the woods for a little while, and Hawk and Levy went after them. Lish had a bit of a breakdown, but that's fine. Toby was also able to spend some time with his dad, get caught up. Where he told him all about his adventures and everyone else in the group. Obviously presented Tobias with a special bowstring. That evening, everyone slept except for Levy. But she was luckily prevented from further consequences of that. Something about the nature of the temple, or perhaps the forest itself, was soothing to her mind. In the morning, Alcee produced another sending stone from among his things and used it to get into contact with the archdruidess whom Esmeralda had spoken of in the past, who seems to be the leader of the tribe that they both originate from, the Oakfather's children. Once he was able to get in contact with her, Esmeralda went and stood next to a tree so that she could be scryed upon, so that the archdruidess, whoever she may be, could send a few people ahead now that the temple has been cleared. Which brings us to the present. You see 3 people come through this portal in the tree. There is an olive-skinned half-elf with long black hair tied back into a braid. He has kind of grayish green eyes and a bow on his back. There is also an olive-skinned human woman with short dark hair, sort of a pixie cut. She does not look like she has any weapons on her, and at least none that are visibly apparent. And the third is a half-orc with dreadlocks pulled back into a ponytail. He has a hard jawline and prominent tusks, and he's clearly favoring his orcish heritage. And when Esmeralda sees him, she actually says, she looks him up and down. She looks very unimpressed and says, "Oh God, they sent you." To which he responds, "Well, there's no one else better they could send. They already managed to get rid of you." And then she laughs and kind of just like punches his side, and he ruffles her hair a little bit. Clear that they know each other. My hand is being bit. So what are you guys doing?
Chilling.
All right.
Let's see. I'm chewing the biscuits. I'm trying to not be rude. I do have a response in mind.
All right. So if none of you say anything to the 3 people that just came through,
mean-
Esmeralda. Oh,
Sorry, finishing the biscuit. Okay.
okay. There you go.
Talk will speak up for once and
Alright.
say, "So you two know each other?"
Oh, yes. I mean, I know everyone in the tribe, but Olfin and I grew up together.
Wolfen, you say?
And
He
the
looks to
half
the half-orc
kind of
man.
nods, and looking at him, you can see he's got like a giant axe on his back.
Respect.
It's kind of clear, looking at the group of people that were just sent through the tree. They are something of a vanguard. They sent tough people ahead just to ensure that it's safe before potentially more vulnerable members of the tribe would be sent ahead.
I see. So you're all like the rest of them, Esmeralda, Osi, and Tobias, then.
That's right. What? And who are you? Are you the folks that the Archdruid has mentioned?
Well, perhaps we are Tobias's companions.
It's at this point that the human woman, she is not really paying any of you any mind, and she is going towards the statue, surrounded by the water, and she is sort of kneeling next to it, and she cups some of the water in her hands and drinks from it.
Lish, with his like little chin on Demir's shoulder, has been watching these people come through and start to go about their business.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the same of Tobias. He's kind of choosing to take a more, I guess, reactionary role, staying by Elfsy's side, watching things go down and kind of gauging stuff based upon Elfsy's response. Like he's kind of falling back into his follower role, what he used to do with Elfsy.
Okay. Yeah, and once the human woman is finished drinking from the moat, she approaches Offsea. And Tobias, what languages do you speak?
He speaks Common and Hunters can't.
Okay. She starts to sort of speak to him in a language that you don't know, but you recognize as Sylvan, just hearing Offsea and your companions speaking in it. And
Tell us the dirt.
she's asking what the fuck happened to his leg.
Demir just kind of like
what did happen to his leg? We just don't know.
she's having the like horrible realization that she actually may have had something to do with it. And she's just going to kind of like quietly, like looking furiously down, messing with her stuff, like kind of somewhere between packing and unpacking it.
Okay. She is taking inventory.
Exactly.
So yeah, she's asking what what happened to his leg, and he's explaining that he was turned to stone by the Medusa, which no one has like done anything with, by the way. It's just still there in the middle of the temple, starting to smell a little bit. And he explains that he was turned to stone, and that when he woke up, his leg had been broken off, and he doesn't really know what happened.
Demir is going to actually, like, once she's done kind of taking inventory of her stuff really fast, she doesn't have a ton of stuff, so it's really not that hard to do. She is going to stand up and go over to the Medusa corpse and like look around for someone who might be willing to help her move it. And if not, she's just going to try and grab it by the underarms and drag it off.
All right, yeah.
Away from the temple.
Actually, the olive-skinned half elf, with the black hair, he is already kneeling to examine the body of it.
It stinks. Let's at least get it out of here.
We could probably take it into the woods to have it decompose.
That was my plan.
And with your help, he starts to drag it off into the woods, more or less in the direction that you had gone with Lish previously as a snake. And you can definitely see that he notices something happened here, just from the way like the plants are crushed and broken in some places, and he's looking at it and trying to figure it out. And let's see actually if what conclusion he comes to. Okay. Yeah, he does not think it's the Medusa. He thinks it's something else.
Big snakes.
Big snake. Guys, be careful. There's giant snakes in the woods.
So what are the rest of you doing?
Would Hawk be
And-
dumb enough to assume that the elven archer knows about his mentor?
That's up to you. Jesus.
Lish is gonna go over and sit and cuddle with Levy since Demir so cruelly left him to go move a body.
Okay.
How dare you have respect for the dead, Demir?
Tobias is essentially just going to be hanging by Ovsi either to assist him with anything that he might need or want, and also kind of just waiting for orders from Ovsi on like what to do / if it looks like someone needs assistance. He's trying not to get in people's way while also just trying to stay close to Ovsi.
All right. Ulfin and Esmeralda are sort of walking around the perimeter of the temple. Ulfin at this point has his axe in hand and is kind of like looking out into the woods.
Gotta watch out for those giant snake attacks.
Esmeralda is just kind of chatting with him.
Mark, not wanting to be rude, will approach OC and ask, so I understand that you're getting the rest of your tribe here, but what else is the plan?
Well, I said previously that the plan is to have tribe return to the ancestral homelands. However, normally I had intended to go back to my home in the woods, but I think I might stay here to help them rebuild.
All right then.
What you all do is up to you.
Seems like you might have things well in hand here after all.
With the Archdruidess's help, we may.
Do you think you'll need assistance? Or would you like me to assist you as well?
Tobias, as much as I enjoy your company, I can tell that you have a certain bond with these folks, and I won't blame you if you want to go with them.
Tobias kind of looks a little sad. Like it's a bittersweetness to the smile that he gives OC. I do. There are things that I promised that I would help them with. It's just part of me doesn't want to leave you just yet.
Then we're welcome to have you as long as you want to stay.
Thank you.
And in the future, when you leave, you know where to find me.
I'll hold you to it.
And plus, now that I'm able to respond to the Sending Stone, it should work just fine.
If for whatever reason I don't hear from you, I'm coming right back.
I don't blame you for that either.
Bias, do you think we should gather the others and talk about where we should go next?
That would probably be best. So just glancing around the little camp / temple area that we've got and stuff, I assume leaving Tobias or not leaving Tobias, leaving Lish are together. Hawk is currently next to
Demir's off dragging off a body
Demir's
with the
off.
blood hunter.
Yeah, dragging a body. And then
where's
where's
Aaron?
We just off to the side, trying to give one space to develop the relationship. And I think he probably has the little one feather out and he's just kind of looking it over, maybe rubbing it a bit. Corner.
Okay. Tobias is gonna look to Hawk and say, can you let Levy and Lish know that once Demir gets back, we are going to start formulating a plan of action. I'm going to go check in with Aaron.
Of
I don't
course.
think anyone has spoken to him yet.
Hmm.
And
If
with
I
that-
understand
Oh,
correctly,
go ahead.
if I understand correctly, he might be his home isn't far from here, is it?
I'm trying to remember how much of Aaron's backstory Tobias
Honestly,
actually
same.
knows. Because
I
I
don't
think
know how-
most of it
I-
has occurred off screen /
I-
like with Lish.
Has Aaron said anything about his home to anybody
Yeah,
but Lish?
I don't think he
know.
has.
Like,
I think
He
so.
has.
I mean, if that's the case, I'll retract that statement.
I think, yeah,
'Cause
I
I
don't
don't
think he
remember.
has. I think the only
Has
thing,
he?
like, Lish is the only one
Yeah,
that's
thinking
gotten
about it, I'm
close
not
to
sure Hawk knows.
weaseling something.
Maybe,
Which
is
Aaron.
ironic
maybe
because
Levy knows a little bit, but I don't think even Levy knows all of everything. I forget exactly what Aaron told her. So
I think Demir might know that he is from the forest, but I don't know where I'm basing that off of. I feel like she was there for a portion of something. But
Yeah.
Well, just in case, because like I can't remember if Aaron told Hawk anything about the Untamed Wilds or anything. I'm just gonna say
sure
like,
he hasn't.
yeah, which is ironic considering like
we
he
might know that
doesn't want
he
to be
came
close to
from this
Lish,
forest.
but does like Hawk. Yet Lish knows more about him than Hawk does.
I feel like we might know that he came from this forest. I did not me think that came out.
I
Does that,
think
does that sound
Even
about
if,
right? Beth?
even if we don't know he came from exactly, like, if this was his home, based upon how Aaron has reacted to certain statements about this forest itself, we can determine that it has some sort of importance to him.
He's been
Roll
a
an
nervous
insight
Nelly.
check.
yeah,
I tell
yeah,
you
that's
what.
valid.
Insight check, sure.
I mean, with the way that
Up,
Lish has
deep
been
up.
poking and prodding at him to something's up.
I'm still gonna restructure what Hawk said though, so that I'm not just like assuming he has information.
Yeah, okay, that's valid.
That's
Just
a
a plug
7
thing.
for Tobias.
Oh,
Good
fun!
insight
That's a
check.
modified 5. It's 5 plus what? Whatever it is not gonna be great. Insight 8.
You guys aren't really picking up much of anything about where Erin might be from.
Okay. In that case, Hawk's just gonna say like, it would be good to check in on him. I think he's been a bit troubled recently. I've been too occupied with my own troubles to lend an ear.
He's been being so picked on lately.
Is what Lish would say were he nearby.
I can still sometimes hear his voice.
That was Kenzie saying like, oh, he's
Tobias,
been
it's been 10
being
years
picked
since the
on by
accident. It
Lish a
wasn't your
lot
fault.
lately.
Oh my god.
And to be
Right.
fair, he deserves more.
Alright. So with that settled, Hawk will indeed go to Lish and Levy, the L squad, and Tobias can go chat up Erin.
Y'all,
Who do we want to do first?
do you want to go first?
Up to you.
How about I almost want to say
If you don't want to decide, then I can go first.
I was gonna say you might want to go first because I don't know how long your conversation's gonna be.
Fair, fair. So yeah, Hawk's gonna go over to Lish and Levy and say, "Hey, am I interrupting anything?"
They're sitting there cuddling.
Levy has just been very quiet today.
Yeah. And so is Lish. Lish just kind of like tilts his head to kind of level an eye up at you.
We should gather together soon once Demir's back and talk about where we should go next. Tobias and I
Lish's-
think things have things well in hand here.
Lish's eyes kind of like roll over to where, I mean, Demir and the other person are not back yet, probably, or have they made their way back?
I mean, how far are we dragging that body?
It's a big body.
Yeah.
Roll a strength check.
Check.
Come on, Demir. If you could beat an arm wrestling guy when no one else can, you can drag a giant Medusa into the forest.
That's 18 plus 2.
20.
So 20.
You're able to drag it pretty far, almost back to where you and Lish had kind of hung out by the giant tree. You're able to do that without any real problem.
Yep. Demir's just going to kind of drop the body before they get entirely back to that tree and just be like, far enough.
All right.
It's yeah, so they're probably not entirely back yet. So Lish will kind of look for Demir, and instead of finding Demir, he'll kind of like end up looking at Aaron when we're talking about next plans. And he'll just kind of shrug again. And I don't know if Levy would say anything, but Levy maybe would be like, okay.
If she's here, she was a little wigged out last time. She probably still is from seeing
Yes, she
her
is.
friends almost die.
Yeah.
Also, she didn't sleep last night, so
No.
Yeah.
But she'd probably slightly respond when spoken to and just be like, yeah, we'll make our way over.
Right. You're unnaturally quiet, Lish. Are you all right?
Kind of sighs with his whole body and says, don't you have other things to worry about?
Well, you may be right. I can still worry about you, can't I?
I'm just fine.
I'm gonna insight that.
Do I have to make some kind of opposing?
I mean, you don't need to.
I'm going to.
Well,
yeah, that would be a deception.
Ha, that's a 21.
damn it, 15.
He
I can't beat a 21.
is just,
Yeah,
he
he
is
seems
just
fine.
Well,
fine.
I could if I rolled high enough, but
By the way, sorry if you hear any like weird ghostly purring. There's a cat just on my keyboard.
Kingsley
I got-
haunting our session.
I got tired of holding him.
He's just like, yes, good.
Mm.
A throne of the gods. Oh, well, if you say so. There was something I did talk to you about, and besides that, I do still owe you an explanation from the walk here.
He looks tired and a little peeved at the prying, and he's just like, we'll make our way over there.
Right. He just like walks off without another word because he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, and I don't know if Levy feels up for making a little small talk, then they'll make a little small talk.
She's not feeling particularly chatty.
No, but I'll ask Felix about it later.
Mhm. All right. So it's probably about this time that Demir and her half-elf companion, whom she's not asked the name of, return from disposing of the body.
Demir's just going to like just kind of give like a nod of thanks. And then I'm going to go over towards where Lish and Levy are at and sit down next to them.
Yee.
Yeah. I have my own things to tell to Levy, but she's not here. So oops. And I guess like in lieu of Levy and Lish and Demi are having a conversation.
Maybe we can do it in the chat later or something.
Yeah.
Insert chat here.
Yeah. Demir will kind of try and like herd the two quiet sads back to the group.
All right. So do you start making plans just in the middle of everything, or do you try to find a more secluded area?
Away from the druids.
Okay. So you're able to find a little space towards a crumbling wall. It's a little bit out of the way, and it's enough to grant you the privacy that you want.
Demir's going to kind of look over at Tobias and just, I suppose this is goodbye.
I wanted to check on Aaron first.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right, I forgot. I'm so sorry.
So while Hawk is checking on or speaking to Lish and Levy and stuff, Tobias goes over to Aaron. And Dove, you mentioned that Aaron's currently like looking at the feather that he acquired and battered. Is he looking kind of out of it, or just kind of like very lost in thought?
Yeah, he's like flipping it over, and he is definitely not looking at it. He's just on the middle ground.
Tobias will stand in front of him. Like if Aaron is looking down, Tobias's feet like might reach the edge of his vision and stuff. You know, kind of giving him warning as he kind of gently speaks to him. Aaron.
Hi, Tobias. Nice. Something up the back, isn't it?
Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Nice having Offsy back, isn't it?
It is. It definitely is, yes. I wanted to ask how you've been doing. Been acting a little strangely since we entered this forest, and I can tell that something's wrong.
Fucker. Okay. Now that you've
I'm sorry, hold on. Did Aaron say fucker?
I said fucker. Don't worry.
Okay, I thought Aaron just like went.
Aaron swore?
Fucker. All right, here we go.
We're not getting that into it yet. Now that you've been united with C, do you think you're planning on up here on going to your family?
Well, Oafsea really is my only family. I was never a part of the tribe. This isn't my home.
Gods.
While I would like to go back to the days where I follow Oafsea around and we work together, I don't want to leave you all yet. Not after I've promised that I would help you. So
It's probably too I got that.
Tobias is going to put a hand on his shoulder. Fuck, I beat you to it. I beat you to it this time.
Fuck.
Tobias will put a hand on Aaron's shoulder, and like his gaze, softens and stuff, and he says, "I'm not going anywhere yet, Aaron. If you'll have me, I'd like to see your journey through to the end as well."
Continue having you there. It's a lot. My home is just kind of looks around. Was, I suppose, around here too. And I think you're right. I think what I'd want to go back to is probably something that no longer exists. And yeah, what I have right now is he's gonna reach out and grab onto Toby's his shoulder. He's gonna say, is ew.
Tobias kind of appears pensive for a moment, like you can tell he's trying to figure out, the proper words in his head before eventually he's just like, fuck this, and pulls Aaron into a full hug. How tall is Aaron, just for science sake? Just for science.
That's a good question. Let me see if I have that written down.
Give me the deets.
In the art channel. It's pinned in the art channel.
Who is it?
Oh, gotcha.
Art and visuals.
Yeah. It doesn't have
there it is.
Exact one, but he's like
We
6
still have comparisons.
something.
Yep.
To
Toby's still the
Tobias'
tallest man in the party.
Yeah, he's slightly under Toby, like maybe half a head under Toby.
Okay, I was just trying to mentally picture, what that looks like and stuff.
Yeah.
And as Tobias kind of embraces him in this hug and stuff, he tells him, I don't fully know what pain and suffering you have endured. And I'm not one to pry it out of someone when they aren't ready. But just know that I am here to listen for whenever that time comes.
Aaron is not just hugging Toby. Aaron is actively gripping Toby. And we just kind of and then just say, thank you. I do think it will probably help to talk about it soon. Maybe when
Take
we're
all
all
the
a bit
Sorry.
you're good. Maybe when we're all a bit more sorted. Put it out.
Tobias kind of gives a chuckle at that. He's like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. He's essentially just going to hold Aaron for as long as Aaron wants. Until Aaron deems he's
a
ready and
while.
stuff. Fucking hug it out, bitch. Let's do this. Also, I just imagine Oopsie just like turns and looks over and goes, that's my boy. As you watch him like comfort another party member. It's like, that's my boy.
Precious. Oh, we love to see it. And then I guess we move over to the conversation with me and everyone.
That's fucking great. That means
No,
Demir walks back into the clearing and just sees Tobias and Aaron just hugging it out like their lives depend on
Toby
it.
and Aaron are hugging it out. Lisha and Levy are cuddling in the corner, and Hawk's just like standing there. All is right in the world.
Hawk is standing in the corner.
You have
hugging.
Biog.
True. Speaking of, Hawk's probably just letting her freely roam around the clearing as she wishes.
All right. Yeah, she's
Letting her do as owls do.
She's hopping about. She finds a mouse and starts to just fucking eat it.
Food.
You tell her to act like an owl, that's what she's doing.
More like, you can act like an owl if you want. You are an owl, right?
What she is more
Yeah.
complicated than that.
Listen, Hawk doesn't know what he's gotten himself into.
All right. So, you find that secluded corner I mentioned earlier.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'm just like quickly typing a thing and I know my keyboard is loud, so that's why I muted.
I don't even hear your
No, you're
keyboard.
good.
Because it's muted.
Oh.
So, what are y'all doing
right now? Tobias, when him and Aaron walk over and stuff, he gives like Aaron a supportive like couple pats on the shoulder before he stands before the group and says, all right, well, to start, I'd like to thank you all for helping me find Oopsie and for risking your lives to free this temple from this beast that took it. But moving on from that, the question now becomes, where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
I think you should stay here. You found your family again. It was what you were looking for.
The tribe is not my family. Oopsie is my family. And as long as he responds on the sending stone, that's all I need to know. Knowing that he is alive in the world is enough for me. Maybe me from the start of this journey would have taken the coward's way out and stayed with him. But I'm a part of this team. And there's no way in hell I'm going to walk out now, not when I care too much about all of you, And I want to make sure that each one of you finds the things that you're looking for.
I can't speak for everyone, but I'm glad that you've decided to stay, Tobias.
He jokingly like gives Hawk like a light push on the shoulder. He's like, you can't get rid of me that easy.
Right.
Demir is kind of staring at Aaron very much like, or at Tobias a little bit like, are you crazy? And also like, it's your funeral. You know, if
Making
you leave
it intense
with
and
us,
is like bright and sparkly.
you know, if you leave with us, you might not make it back at all.
He kind of like looks contemplative about that for a moment before he locks eyes with Demir and just kind of gives a little bit of a crooked smile. He's like, then so be it. I'm done living like a coward.
And you'll live like an idiot.
At least I go outside now. And at least I'm also true to myself as well.
Yeah, like she when she said like you'll live like an idiot, there was definitely like a softness about her to it, like idiot.
Oh shit!
affectionate.
Instead of the at least I go outside now, can I switch to what Tobias says, because I just came up with a better line.
Go for it.
You're talking to a man who ran into the woods like a stupid child. Got himself bit, so I'm already there.
Because he was a stupid child.
Oh, man.
At least we're all stupid children.
Speak for yourself.
No, she's right.
This is a stupid adult.
And he's been a stupid adult for a
Stupid
long
man.
time.
The stupid ancient one. Get it right. Jeez.
Old man.
Well, anyone have any ideas on where to go next? I've got my own personal suggestion, but it's a bit far from where we are now.
Lish to Aaron.
Aaron cringes slightly at bit far, but probably doesn't say anything.
Tobias sets a reassuring hand on Aaron's shoulder and says, actually, Hawk, if you don't mind, Aaron, you mentioned earlier that your home was near here, correct?
Aaron fucking does a like prey animal noticing that something else has walked into the clearing glance. Aaron just goes
Lish is gonna kind of perk up at that. Like, ooh, Aaron has told somebody something. And he's going to
so
like
proud.
Like, this is the first time since yesterday's fight that he's kind of like, ooh, wait. Let's see here.
Lish fucking like gets out his folding chair, snaps it open, sets it on the ground, takes a seat, brings out a wine glass, like,
Just
You
like,
tell,
Continue.
chap.
I have no issues when other people's issues are around. And he's gonna just be like, I believe I heard something similar.
Aaron's shooting Lish a death glare.
Lish isn't saying anything that hasn't already been brought up in conversation. He is sticking to his promise.
Fucking
I'm not asking
Faye.
you to reveal what you are not comfortable with, but if you would like the opportunity to see something through, now would be the time to do it.
It would. Yes. A home, and I'm hoping at least some of the family are near. I have a vague idea that I've managed to piece together. And I do have unfinished business. But you were talking earlier about Renee's about wanting to see everyone through on their journeys, on what they have to do. And anything I have to do has been hanging for so long. It's longer.
Well, we're here, aren't we, Aaron? We came all this way.
All this way. It would be convenient. But I mean, I don't think.
Why delay?
I don't think I have any time limit, and I know that X isn't here, but I'm still calling Leafy out. And I know that some of you, and Aaron's gonna look directly to Levy, have goals you need to accomplish that might be more pressing, that might benefit more from happening immediately than, and he's kind of just gonna like deflate a little anything I might need to do.
Aaron, if we're so close to your home already, and there's no better time to go see.
Can't weasel out of this one, boy.
If you're
By all
afraid,
means,
She's
though.
nothing but a weasel.
By all
Aaron.
means, though, Aaron, if you need to keep running away.
Aaron,
That is rich coming from Demir. Okay, let's just like that one out real nice.
She is on his side, actually. She's just calling it for what it is.
Aaron,
Yeah. Again.
whatever it is that you are afraid of, whether it be rejection, exile, perhaps even a death sentence, it won't matter in the end if you never try.
Whatever we do
If
find.
they Huck!
Sorry.
You're the fucking gun!
Sorry. Go ahead.
God damn it!
Sorry. I thought you were. Go ahead.
No, it wasn't.
Oh.
Back to it.
Sorry.
As I was saying. Fuck! What was I saying?
If
Sorry.
If there's a death sentence awaiting you, or
in the end, it won't matter if you don't even try. Regardless, we can prevent those things from happening. If they reject you, then we are your new family. You won't be alone no matter the outcome. And if they try to do much worse, I assure you, we won't let that happen.
Aaron is fucking bawling at this point. And he is very clearly making a conscious effort to continue standing. And you get the impression that if he let up on that for even a moment, he would just kind of crumble to the ground. Like, well, I can't think of no more capable people or ones I feel safer or more loved around. I suppose we are right here. It's probably regardless not going to take that much time off of out of your guys' lives.
No, indeed not.
Stuck together for this long, haven't we? And whatever we do find there, we'll be standing there with you. You won't be alone.
I think there are things that are better left behind us. And Tobias, as
Lisha's gonna like be like shh. Like he's about to spell his
Yeah,
name.
she just like fucking like she's batting his hand away.
as romantic as Tobias's notion is, there are things that we can't protect you from. We are a small group, and there are many people out there. We are easily overrun. So,
Samir, with all respect, you aren't exactly helping.
I'm offering.
You Hawk.
So
I'm
could you
offering an alternative.
And the alternative is to live with regrets as I have?
To live your life as a coward like I have?
Oh.
Just click, click.
We're
Take a
coming
shot.
for both Demir and Aaron today, and it's great, and I am here for it.
Sometimes that's the way to live.
It is not. I can tell you that from experience.
For you, maybe.
The most frustrated man in the fucking world right now.
I do think you're right that there will not be a solution incoming. I know what I know what my situation is, and I'm not going to find any solution. But
What's a little context here, Aaron?
Aaron's gonna glare at Lish and say, I know that no one there is going to forgive me. And then he's going to Demir and say, but I'd like to hear them say that themselves.
Lish is gonna grin at that.
Your choice.
Thank you,
I'm
Belle.
risking it.
Thank you, Belle, for what you're going to do. I've definitely been holding on to the idea that there's an out, and it is important to recognize that. As far as danger goes, I can see things violent, actually, but just took down. Oh God! Yes, Aaron is gonna curse. We just took down fucking Medusa. I think we'll be all right.
Your funeral.
It's gonna shake
Hawk
his
looks
head.
around. Oh, sorry.
No, continue.
Hawk looks around to see if they're really the only ones like around this corner, like if no one's listening in or anything. From the DM's silence, I assume that is a yes, you guys are alone.
As far as you can tell.
As far as you can tell, I can't hear any dice being rolled, so.
Well, you seem to have found a secluded spot. Offsea is, as far as you know, is still chatting with the human woman in Sylvan. Esmeralda and her half-orc friend are walking around, but they don't seem to be in the area. You don't know about the guy with the bow.
All right. Suspicious, but probably fine.
Speaking of my regrets, there is something that I avoided answering before that I'm sure I owe an explanation for. On the way here, he like stops and he hears Aaron start.
I mean, only if you're ready now. Only if something's changed.
The only reason I didn't say it before was because Esmeralda was around. And while she is trustworthy, I don't think I can trust her with what's behind this face. Not yet.
Aaron bites his lip and nods.
Some of you were asking, I think, why I'm so apprehensive about this. Why I keep this face on mine. He like pointedly looks over at Lish when he says this.
Lish is just like,
Do tell.
I'm waiting.
Yes, of course you are. There are two reasons, one graver than the other. My old mentor, Rosania, when she first saw this face, she feared what others might think. Understandably so. I've never seen another of my kind, and unlike the rest of you, it's understandable if someone were to see this and think I were truly a monster. I don't know if Kenzie heard that because, I mean, speakers, but you're
I
muted.
heard
Okay,
it.
cool. Cool. Just
I
checking.
had to get the cat off of the.
Okay. Just checking, because I don't want you to miss this. The other reason came from my father himself. He made me for a purpose. He needed someone to look after him. And only after that was done did he realize the implications of my existence. He doesn't want another one of me because he doesn't know what others would do with the knowledge of my existence. I can only hope that the rest of you can understand.
Of course. It's not your fault.
It's not, no.
And yeah, people can be quite cruel, but those are strangers. That's only anyone who didn't know you.
Aaron, I don't think you understand.
Looking at it from a purely objective standpoint, or perhaps logical standpoint, I can understand your father's reasoning.
Can you?
Sure.
I want to be sure.
You hardly need to sleep. You don't need to eat. You're powerful. If people learned how to mass produce you, I know what humans are capable of. I know how terrible they can be.
That's exactly right.
It's putting dynamite in front of an excited child.
But yes, now you know. The last thing my father ever wanted was war. He only ever wanted help, peace, and he can't trust what others could do if they knew how to make more of me. It was by no means an easy process, but he believed that if someone was determined enough, researched enough, cruel enough, they could find a way.
You're the only one who's brought up war here, Hawk. Do you think that's what you're for?
Gods, I hope not.
Are you your own man, Hawk?
Every decision I've made has been my own. I've only ever wanted to help, as my father wished of me, but that decision was mine.
Did your father control you? Did he command your every move, and were you forced to order it?
Not once.
And these replicas of you and hypothetical that could be created, you think that they would be just like you? Or just mere weapons of war? Because what I'm hearing is that you are not a weapon or just a simple machine. So how could that just be some manufactured weapon? It's more complicated than that. And war is not simple enough. Simple as that.
I'm magic by nature, and magic by nature can be controlled. You would know as much when I was forced to strike you by Tasha.
all of us can be controlled by magic. Demir is going to activate her Fey presence. So everyone in a 10-foot cube, which would be everyone, gets to make a DC Wisdom save.
Uh-oh.
Jesus Christ, Demir. Sorry, what was it again? DC what?
that
DC
part-
16.
16
I will roll
wisdom.
for Levy.
Tobias got a natural 19 plus 1, so that's a 20.
This is a wisdom save, you said?
Mm-hmm. It's a very short. It's a small DC, but
It's 19.
Ooh, let's see. Had to pull up Levy's
If none
stats.
of us get tagged
I got
by it, that'd be
13.
so
that
fun.
would be so funny.
I got 13. At least Hawk is getting it.
Talk is good.
Levy did.
Nice.
So would you care to describe what your Fey presence looks like?
So, it's odd. It's kind of like Demir's a very pretty person already, but her features become unnaturally pretty. And just frost at the edges of her, like of her hands, of her eyes, of her nose, a lot like highlights around her. And it's like the whole area around the 10-foot cube becomes just a little frigid. And it's hard to look away from her. And she's just going to hold that charm for a minute and then drop it. We're all subject to what magic can do to us. That doesn't make you a weapon any more than it makes me one.
You still have to sleep. You still have to eat and drink, as Tobias pointed out.
And Lish can sit for a few hours and be fine.
I'm still not convinced, but this is certainly something to think about.
I apologize for that. I just wanted to make a point.
I've never liked how spells like that feel, but I understand. Well, with that dour topic out of the way, Aaron, we're standing behind you, but first we need to know which direction we have to go.
Aaron fucking starts. Oh, okay.
Do you have an idea of which direction we would have to leave? Otherwise, I'm
do.
sure someone here could. Oh,
I do. My there. I know not quite where she is, but I do know that she is in the most snowy portions of the forest.
so do we head north, east, northeast? A different direction altogether?
Oh shit, we're not on the world map. I do believe it's, if I'm here, wait. Let me go find where the map is.
At the sound of snow, Lish is kind of also like
Yes, I do believe it's to the northwest, if I'm reading that right.
Licious, how far away are we from where we were, DM?
Are you asking your current location within the forest or where?
Well, how far off did we go from the rest of the people? Meeting.
I imagine we're like still close by.
You're still close by so that you'd be able to find the temple.
Can I
Okay.
see the clearing from where we're standing?
You would have to go around the wall you're behind.
Lish is going to kind of turn his head back towards where the clearing was, and he's going to pull Demir's arm a little bit and start walking back towards the clearing where the temple is.
Okay.
Meeting adjourned, I guess.
Hawk's gonna actually follow closely, and there was one other thing for you two specifically.
Yes.
Lish isn't dragging Demir, by the way. He's just kind of tugged her sleeve and went on his own. So
Oh,
if Demir's following, then she's following. But
Yes.
I imagine I would.
Demir is following along.
okay.
Yeah, Hawk's walking and talking. Even before that incident with the Dryad, I already began to feel like I was a little out of my depth. My mentor mentioned this other plane of forests and magic, but she never taught me much about wherever they came from, wherever Lish came from. If I'm to continue along this path, I think I'm going to need more guidance.
You want to come to the Feywild. Why?
I never said that. I don't think I'd last a minute there. But if we're going to keep running into creatures akin to Pyrocanthia, creatures that you're more familiar with,
Well,
I know nothing about them, and I don't want to risk whatever happened back there happening again.
I think, Hawk, that you'll find that there is a lot that you don't know.
I already surmised that. Which is why I was wondering if you two could tell me a bit more about what this is.
Keep your name close. Do not give it out freely. And do not thank them. Do not trust them. Do not take from them.
Sorry, could you repeat that last part? It kind of like faded a little.
Do not take from them.
Take from them,
Whatever
okay.
they offer. Don't beat yourself up too bad. My parents taught me of the Jinn. They did not tell me how to protect myself from Fae.
On the contrary, do not be rude and do not reject gifts.
You are biased. And you are also not to be trusted.
And yet here we are. Are you all coming?
Just to confirm, because my brain went to outer space for 2 seconds and I skipped a few things. We've decided on a direction to go. And
Vaguely. Lish
Okay.
kind of cut the meeting short because
Yes.
he heard something.
he heard something.
Yes.
that you
Uh,
potentially gathered. You
okay.
started walking off.
Okay. Then with the meeting adjourned, Tobias is gonna go over, like quickly go over to OC, kind of just let him know.
As you get back
go ahead.
to the clearing, there are more people than there were last time. While you were in the meeting, the spell seemed to have gone off again. And there are a handful more people. There is a human woman with fair skin and dark brown hair. You can see Esmeralda talking to two halflings, a man and a woman. There is an older dwarf man with gray in his beard and scars on his forearms and face. Clearly, he's a seasoned warrior. And then there's a sort of, for lack of a better descriptor, a sort of feral-looking firbolg with light brown fur and dark brown hair. And her hair is messy, and she looks kind of shifty-eyed, and she's holding a club, and she's kind of like jumping at the slightest sound. And there are a handful of other people.
The two halflings that Esmeralda is speaking to, do they look like her parents?
Roll an insight check.
That's 13, 14.
You can definitely see the family resemblance. The halfling woman has fair skin and long red hair. And the halfling man has curly brown hair and a kind of bushy mustache. And she's just talking to them.
Okay. I'm going to file that away for later.
Tobias is gonna go over to OC and kind of give him an apologetic smile. It's like, well, it looks like we've figured out where we're going from here.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. How soon are you leaving?
It's looking like now.
Now, okay. I was hoping you'd have time to stay and meet the Archdruidess.
Tobias like looks back to his group. Does it look like Lish is very much wanting to get out of here?
No, Lish is inspecting these new people. Like he's been, when we were in the clearing earlier, he was watching these people.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted. Sorry.
He's an avid people watcher.
No, we were away and we came back to the clearing. These people are what Lish heard.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Is I misinterpreted. Yeah. I thought Lish heard something else.
No.
Then retract that statement by saying now. He's like, I don't know entirely when we'll be leaving. Probably as soon as we get our bearings.
I think we might have time to meet the Archdruidess.
Did Hawk come over to OC?
Oh, oops. I thought you were close.
I mean, the whole party can come over to OC if they want. Tobias isn't going to stop them.
Yeah, I'll come bother OC. No, I don't know. Just nosy. He's listening to everything.
But yeah, Tobias tells OC, we decided what we're doing. We don't know entirely when we're going to be leaving yet. Probably once we get our bearings. I'm not hearing anything.
Wherever the hell we're supposed to go.
No one's around to tell
The
Tobias that we
DM's
can take
mic.
our time.
I don't know. Is Tobias asking?
All of a sudden, Avery's mic is not working for me.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
your
Avery,
yeah,
you're
your
not
mic's
getting it.
busted.
Your mic's not working.
Unplug, replug. Maybe you muted the mic itself. I don't know how iPhone earbuds work. No, we still can't hear you. Oh,
Okay. How about now?
Yay!
there we go.
Okay. Yeah,
Loud and
someone was chewing on my headphones, so I
That would do it.
suspect that was the issue.
I know.
So
Hmm.
I guess sorry for any feedback. Hi, did you need something? Anyway, Offsea says the others say that the Archdruidess should be coming later today. She wants to make sure everyone else gets in first.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Everyone
Tobias,
needs
like, kinda
time to pack their belongings and such as well.
Yeah. Tobias kind of like sheepishly looks around at all the tribe members and stuff, and he asks, "Do you know much about the Archdruid?"
Well, what are you looking for to know in particular? She's a wise woman.
Do you think she would know what's wrong with me?
Tobias, I don't think there's anything wrong with you.
What the hell?
I'll be right back. A breakfast call just went out, but I'll return.
Stop clawing my leg.
Kingsley,
No.
stop clawing Avery's leg.
No.
right.
Yeah.
Who are these people? All right, I'll be back.
Is Tobias saying this kind of loud enough that like the people around could overhear? I mean, do you and Oafsey go a ways away or?
No, Tobias just goes to where Oafsey's sitting. So if the party was standing nearby to like hear Tobias talk and stuff, they would be able to hear him. Although he does lower his voice a little when he says, like, "Do you think she would know what's wrong with me?"
Should I roll to hear that, DM, or?
Yeah, roll perception check.
That's a 18 on the die, so that's a 25.
Yes, you can definitely hear.
No secrets, no secrets.
And Offsea will say, I think that you should try to speak to her if you can. She has been around for a long time, and she could have some wisdom to share with you.
Oh, okay. What kind of person is she like? You could tell he's starting to revert back to like his more nervous tendencies where he's like, "Oh God, I don't know this person."
She has been around for a long time. She actually was the one to found the tribe. She's a half elf, so they live they live a while, but druids they tend to live even longer. So she has been around for a long time. She's a were-tiger, actually.
That's rad. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Was that in character? Or
Yeah.
there are a few were-tigers in the tribe. Wait. Ow, fuck my leg. Sorry.
Kingsley, please, we're not
Oh,
going
it's
to
in
cosplay this
character.
session.
You know, he moved his leg wrong.
Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted. There are lycanthropes of all kind in the tribe. There are there's were tigers, a few were ravens. I think there's even a werewolf or two, were boar. But she's a kind person.
I would like to
Archdruid.
say that when Ofsi is listing off the different were animals, Tobias's eyes are glittering. He's like, "Wow, so cool."
It's at this point another group comes through. This group is larger. There seem to be more families rather than like, I mean, from the look of the human woman with fair skin and 2 halflings that came through, they don't really seem to be warrior types. They are coming in to see what's what, and now there are more families coming through.
Oh my god, how many people are now like coming into this clearing? Like how many people are just all
There's quite a few at this point.
What's your estimate as far as this last batch?
This last batch, there's like 7 of them. So aside from you guys, there's about 15 people so far who've come through the tree today.
We are going to be having quite a bit of company, I say to the air. Anybody around to hear?
Yeah, and hi, can I help you? Anyway, but no sign of anyone that might be an archdruidess yet. There are some children here, though.
What kind of children?
Mostly human. There are a couple of half-elf children too.
Lish is
Tobias
going to
kinda-
turn into a wolf and he's gonna go play with the kids.
Okay. The children, they just stole my keys. Anyway, the children seem delighted by this nice doggy that's coming to play with them.
When the children appear, Tobias appears a little wary before he focuses back on Ofsi. Do I, when speaking to the Archdruidess, do I just call her the Archdruidess, or do I use her name? I've never spoken to someone as like her.
Let her introduce herself to you. I mean,
Okay.
someone living out in the woods long enough knows not to give out their name to just anyone.
Okay. At that point, Tobias is just kind of, I guess, going to wait around until.
All right. So
something
is
happens.
anyone else doing anything before doing anything throughout the day, shall we say?
Just very briefly, Demir is going to like just kind of as she's passing by to Esmeralda's parents, just like, you should be proud of your daughter.
You can see that the woman, she's wearing a sort of simple, like, army green dress. It's made of like a sturdy material, doesn't look like it tears easily. And the halfling man with the bushy mustache, he's wearing like simple peasant clothes. He's got pants on, belt, suspenders, a simple white shirt. And it's the woman who says, "But are you one of the folks that our daughter has been talking to us about?"
I suppose we came with her from Moyes.
Well, it's quite a pleasure to meet you. She said you helped her get out of something of a pickle. In
Just a little
regards to
trouble
the
with
whole
the law.
serial killer thing, that's rather unfortunate. Unfortunately, people don't really treat our kind with anything less than suspicion.
Well, when people see things they don't understand, they react with fear.
That's true, but still, thank you for your help.
She helped us as much as we helped her. She's an
And-
honorable fighter. And
Esmeralda at this point is sort of like, "Mom, you're embarrassing me."
just, you should be proud. And that's all Demir is going to say.
Mhm.
Just kind of very briefly.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything?
While Tobias is waiting, if tribe members are like setting up either temporary shelter or housing or moving things and stuff, Tobias is willing to assist with that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Stop
stuff to
it.
do to kill time.
All right. Yeah. People are sort of setting up camp, so to speak. Some of the younger folks are setting up temporary housing, and some of the older folks are sweeping, kind of clearing the area, making more room for everyone.
Demir will probably end up helping too, just for a lack of anything to do.
Okay.
Kind of try and catch Tobias's eye at some point.
Okay. So as the
Can I
day,
roll to see if I notice?
yeah, sure. Perception check.
Yeah, let's do this. For once, it's not horrible.
What?
Holy shit! Oh, that was an 18.
Yes, you definitely notice.
He kind of gives Demir a questioning look like when he catches her like repeatedly trying to catch his eye, like, what? You want to ask something? Like, do you want to talk or?
Yeah. When he like looks back and is like what? Demir is going to kind of like go over to him, like she was kind of waiting for his acknowledgement or invitation, I guess. And she's going to like kind of go over to him and just do you have a moment?
I do. Yes. Is everything all right?
Yes. I really think you should reconsider going with us. Ofsi needs your help. Probably now more than any other time. And I don't think you need to stick around with us. You don't owe us anything.
Tobias actually appears a little hurt at that. When Demir says, like he appears at first confused when she says, I think you should reconsider. And then as she continues on and eventually says, you don't need to stick around with us. You don't owe us anything. That's where he appears kind of like the most hurt. At that, he replies, do you not want me around anymore? I mean,
No.
I guess I can understand. I know you and Lish are still very close, and
Oh.
to be fair, I knew this was temporary to begin with, but
No. No, Demir suddenly like realizes what she said sounded like a breakup and just like, no. Quite frankly, if we weren't on the road the whole time, I would be all over you right now. But
his face just goes fucking red at that.
No. Kind of takes a moment to like regroup and recollect her thoughts and just I know what I am, and I know that there is not a good ending here. And I think you deserve better. I'll take you for everything that you will give me because I'm selfish like that. But I don't think it would be right for you to throw away a home and your people and belonging for anyone else's sake but your own.
I know you wanted answers about yourself, and it seems to me like this is the best place to get them. These are the best people to have answers to help you.
Demir. In a way, Tobias almost looks frustrated. He's like, both you and Aaron said that these were my people, but I don't know any of them. He kind of like steps closer and drops his voice lower and stuff so people don't, aside from Demir, hear him. They don't mean anything to me. The only one that has actual meaning to me is Ophsi. I don't fully know what it means to have a place to belong. For me, it's not a house or a ranch or a temple. The closest that I can understand what it means to having people or to having a place where you feel like everything is right. At first it was just with Ophsi, but during this journey it's become with all of you as well. And
if I'm the one who hurt OC,
Tobias's expression kind of softens as he cradles Demir's head in his hands. Like just gently places his hands on her cheek. Goes, no matter how many times I've thought about it in my head, I still can't bring myself to hate you for that.
well, you should. If you were smart, you would.
How many times do I have to tell you? I'm a fool. I always have been, and I always will be. If I'm allowed to have happiness in this life, then why not you as well? What if I choose to stay? Are you going to deny me that? I've already been through that once. I don't want to do that again.
I could hardly stop you even if I wanted to. You're huge.
You're fucking massive! Then don't try to stop me. Let me come. Let me be a part of this.
Free kitten with every Hisense ULED TV. Terrible idea.
Was I the only one that heard that for a second there?
Yeah,
No,
okay,
I heard it
thought
too.
was me.
What?
Okay, good.
Okay.
I was like,
What was
okay.
that?
I was like, was that on my computer?
Yeah, something just played out loud.
Someone watching YouTube on the side?
Yeah,
Who closes
the
9 tabs?
auto-playing ads are the worst. And I have a few tabs that have a tendency to autoplay ads.
God, get
It
U-block.
happens.
Get you some U-block.
It happens to all of us.
That's fair.
But yes, I'm back. Hello, while we're
Ah.
distracted.
Well, yes. But yeah, as Tobias was saying, then let me come along. Let me be a part of this. I know we haven't really talked about this whole thing between the three of us, and he indicates to himself, Demir, and Lish, who is standing elsewhere.
He's a dog right now.
Yeah, his dog.
Yeah, Lish is currently on his back, and there are like 3 children rubbing his belly.
God, I'm so glad. I know we haven't really talked about whatever this is that's between us. And I don't know the first thing about what it means to truly love someone. But I would still like to try. And the feelings that I have for the both of you, I want to say that that's love.
Demir just kind of looks down and shakes her head.
Tobias kisses the crown of her head.
She's gonna look back up and like kind of take his face in her hands in response and kind of pull him down into a kiss.
Aww. It's a very sweet one.
Yeah.
Fucking Oafsy in the background. That's my boy!
That's my boy back there.
Get it!
I went too redneck with OC. Shit. Ow.
And Demir just kind of not gonna say much else, just kind of lean into him a little bit, forehead to forehead. Just yeah.
Everything
She's not gonna be the first person to break it.
He won't either. They're probably just gonna stand there for a while until they gotta move because someone's moving stuff around. But he is gonna whisper to her, everything's gonna be okay. No matter what happens, no matter what path we go down, everything will turn out all right in the end.
Like you said, you're a fool.
But I'm your fool. And his fool.
You're my fool. She's just gone. Kind of like after a little bit, probably once they've been a little jostled around, like having to get out of the way for other people and stuff like that. She's going to like finally pull back a little bit and just I should probably make sure that he's not going to take one of those children.
Oh, I don't know. It looks like they're currently got him pinned at the moment. But yes, do go rescue him from the children. Nasty little cretins they are.
Do not rescue him. He will not be rescued.
I like how Tobias and Demi have completely different
really-
outlooks on the situation.
It's really not the children that it is. It's not him that we should be worried about. It's definitely the children.
If you say so.
I met some people.
Tobias is gonna let her go, just kind of like an amused smile on his face.
Yeah, and she's just going to like kind of go off and just like go and keep a sturdy eye on Lesh and the children.
If Tobias glances over to Oafsey, is Oafsey just giving him like a look of just I
He
see.
definitely is. You don't know how much of that conversation he had, but he's definitely giving a knowing look.
Tobias fucking like shields his face as he's turning around, like shuffles around and goes back to like helping move things around.
Oopsie's like, high five? High five?
My boy kissed a girl. I never thought he would even speak to one, and here he is kissing her.
Fucking Tobias is Oafsey's having so many revelations about Tobias. He saw him in his transformation. He sees him like actually, talking a bunch more, not hunched over, looking more healthy, fucking outside of the ranch.
Roll
Group of
an insight
friends.
check if you want to know some of those revelations.
Oopsie's like, I should have gotten petrified a lot earlier.
I'll roll an insight check. Oh fuck, that's a 3.
He's
I
definitely
flipped this-
giving you a look.
Tobias comes back to work.
So, if anyone has anything else to do,
Has anyone chatted up Esmeralda yet? 'Cause
she was mostly talking to her half-orc friend, Ulfin, and her parents.
Mhm.
Demir spoke very briefly to her parents, but not really to
Mhm.
Esmeralda directly.
Right. Well, since everyone else is occupied, Hawk's gonna talk again. Oh yeah. This is the chattiest he's been, I'm pretty sure, over the course of a session. So, what's Esmeralda doing right now?
She is probably helping set up camp.
He's gonna walk over and say, Esmeralda, if you have a moment.
Of course. What do you need?
He's gonna sit or like crouch nearby and like silently offer to help with setting up whatever she's working on.
She's currently helping to set up what seems to be like a slapdash food storage sort of thing.
Cool.
Just like enough of a tarp to protect it from the elements. There's a good chance she'll probably put traps around it in a little while to prevent animals.
Totally. He'll like idly help her out while he talks. He's familiar with setting up like impromptu shelters like this. I imagine he and his mentor did that a lot back in the day.
Definitely.
Yeah. Kingsley, love him. So everyone else is busy talking with each other, talking with old friends. He sort of just like gestures his head back towards Tobias and Oafsey. And I think someone should tell you that we're very grateful for your help.
Well, I'm grateful for your help too. You've done a lot for me.
Kingsley.
And I really do appreciate your help. I would not have been able to get this far without you all.
Oh, well, we're glad to have helped you, of course. And if it weren't for you, I doubt we would be in the same position.
How are you feeling? You returned to Stone.
Well, it was strange, but I'm feeling better now.
All right. Well, for what it's worth, I figure you all will be moving on soon. I've been sort of getting that impression from the way you all are going off behind trees and stuff to talk conspiratorially to one another. But for what it's worth, you can consider me an ally. If you need me, I'm glad to help you. You've helped me. You've helped the tribe.
Oh, that's good to hear. I'm glad you think that. I'm sure that if anything happens back here, we'll come running back. Tobias isn't willing to let Ofsi go completely, after all.
And I'd imagine not. The family bonds are, well, very important.
Hmm.
You all make a nice family too.
Oh. Shit, he was gonna say something else, but I don't remember what it was. Damn it. Right. Yes, but as you guessed, Tobias isn't the only one among us with unfinished business. And
That's usually how it goes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we'll be sure to call on you if we ever need it. You were a very welcome ally.
As were you all.
Mm-hmm.
And I expect you. I haven't seen the last of you. You all haven't seen the last of me. I don't know where your travels will take you next, but I expect that those two will want to visit. And she sort of nods her head towards Offsea and Tobias.
Oh, almost certainly. There is one other thing.
What's up?
Have you ever wondered, looking at me, anything at all?
She kind of pauses for a moment and says, I believe that you have a right to privacy if you wish it.
Mm-hmm. It is a kept secret among us, but it was not easy to reveal the first time. But if you think you can keep a secret, I would not mind showing you. I trust you enough, and I'm sure the others do too. And if you trust us, then it's all as well.
I trust you.
Mm-hmm. But before I do, though, do you promise not to be afraid?
Hawk, I have grown up in a tribe full of lycanthropes, and people treat us unkindly for that. I'm not one to judge.
Fair enough. And so he does it. He pulls his hoods back and he takes off the mask very slowly and deliberately, and turns his eyes back on.
Wait, he's doing this out in the open?
Actually, yeah, he should check to see if there's anyone else around first.
There's a bunch of people in the clearing at this point.
Okay. In that case, he's gonna like start doing that and then notice, like, wait, no. Will spoken words suffice? I don't want everyone to know this.
I mean, sure. And she's like confused at this point. She doesn't know what's happening.
I am very,
like,
very.
Why is this man undressing in front of me?
I'm so very sorry for the confusion, but it's not something that I feel comfortable showing everyone, as you might have guessed. Okay, you know what? Instead of pulling the hoods back, he's just gonna like tilt the mask to the side a little bit. Just like enough so that if they look head on each other, she can see.
Okay. All right. That's not necessarily what I was expecting.
Nor was it for the rest of them.
I'd imagine not. Where did you say you were from again?
I'm from this continent. My father, I guess my creator, since you know, he lives on the eastern coast. Well, lived on the eastern coast.
So, okay. And are there many of you over in that side of
No, I'm the only one. At this point, he affixes the mask back where it was. And through this kept secret, I hope it stays that way for fear of what could happen
course.
if there were more.
I mean, I've never been to Ireland. You said that's where you're from, right? Ireland? Or are you in Eastern Valley?
I need to remember. Hang on. Let me go grab Hawk's like info sheet, not his personal
I
info
can-
sheet, but the actual one.
I can
You could
make it
also
quick
just tell me if
for
you
you.
have it open.
You are in Ireland. You're from Ireland. There. I mean, I can give you info if you want to roll a history check, but like,
yeah, it's Ireland. Yeah, it's Ireland.
there are 3 countries, so to speak, on this continent. There's Nivelle, which is the largest. There's Ireland, which is in, the border is in the mountains to the east, and then goes to the coast. And then there's the unclaimed lands, which both Nivelle and Island don't really want to fuck with because it's supposedly very dangerous up there. And that is where you guys are right now. You are in the unclaimed lands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just trying to remember the name of that area.
Yes.
So, yes, I'm from Ireland. And I'm the only one of me.
All right. Well, your secret is safe with me for what it's worth.
For that, I could not be more glad. Thank you.
I appreciate your trust in me about this.
Mm-hmm. There is one thing about it that I haven't told the others yet. It's more of a personal hope than a revelation, but
All
I'm
right.
just leaning into the camera. I love it. But I do hope that someday I don't need to hide this. But someday I know for a fact that my worst fears may not come to pass.
I completely understand. To be honest with you, traveling to Uvila, I'd hoped that, well, the stories would have been more exaggerated about the unkindness of the people who live in civilization towards folk like me. But people, I
Yes.
suppose, can be unkind wherever you go. But I think it's important in that case to try to stick with the good ones.
Mm-hmm. For what it's worth, my introduction to your tribe and I guess these transformations in general was very positive. Even the first time I saw Tobias transform, it wasn't that scary.
And I'm glad to hear that at least.
To be fair, Hawk was under the influence of Tasha.
Right. Well, it seems that you and yours have everything well in hand. We'll be sure
For
to call
now,
on you
at
if we.
least.
Yes. We'll be sure to call on you if we need anything, but don't be afraid to do the same to us, yes? We'll still be in the
Course.
unclaimed lands for a while yet.
That's good to know.
Right. I'm sure the others are wondering, perhaps gearing up to leave. I'll not keep them waiting.
And even this evening.
This evening, maybe sooner, maybe a little later. I don't imagine we'd want to travel very far at night, but
No, the woods can be dangerous, I imagine.
almost certainly. Even the normal forests are very dangerous during the evening when the sun is gone. I can't
Aye, that's
imagine
true.
I can't imagine these forests are much kinder.
All right.
All right. I'll just
And
leave it that Hawk will continue to help her for a while before
Mhm.
taking his leave.
And with that, throughout the day, including the groups that had come through previously, there's a total of 6 groups coming through via transport via plants. At first, it seems to be mostly like the deeply religious, with a few like tough looking people who are clearly there for protection. But after that, there seems to be more families and elderly folk, including children too. The tribe as a whole seems to be mostly comprised of humans, but that's not to say that there aren't other races present. The 6th time, the tree opens to reveal a couple more elderly folk, a couple more children. A human woman with an infant cradled to her chest, and finally, a much older woman. She is a half-elf who clearly wears her age bow her, and the wrinkles on her face to her weathered olive skin shows a life spent outside. Said before, those of you who are more familiar with druids know that when they reach a certain level of skill, they don't age as fast. So it's clear that this woman has been around for a long time. Much of her form is covered by something of a cloak that seems to be woven of moss, leaves, and lichens. Upon closer inspection of the cloak, in fact, it seems to have bracket fungi growing out of it in various places. Beneath her cloak are various layered leathers and furs that obscure her form. Her feet are bare, and she's carrying a worn wooden bident with a piece of malachite floating between the 2 prongs. The bident itself also has bracket fungi growing out of it. But the archdruidess herself seems to be mostly using using it as a walking stick.
Yeah.
Demir is just she's just been kind of helping folk, kind of helping to wrangle the children a little bit. But she has not even picked up her stuff at all. So if if anyone stops to look at the druid when she comes through, then Demir will probably, but otherwise she's just going to continue doing what she was doing when everyone else has been arriving.
You can see that the members of the tribe are looking on her with respect.
Is that her, you figure?
To Lish.
Lish is like laying down on the ground beside her, just kind of like panting after having like a run around the entire camp all afternoon. And she's probably seen he's just been like watching like a hawk the whole time as people have been coming through the portal. And he kind of makes a low whine of confirmation that he does think that that's the archdruid.
As you watch, a couple of children go kind of don't really go up to her exactly, but they start following her around. Like they're happy to see her, they're excited to see her, and she's sort of like looking around at the temple slowly and seeing the seeing some of the remaining statues, and she approaches 3 of them and casts greater restoration on them. So that's 3 more people who are back.
He makes another noise, and Demir can probably tell that that is a noise of jealousy.
From there, as you're watching, Esmeralda approaches her, clearly very respectful as she does so, and starts to just talk to her about what happened since she left.
What has Aaron been doing this entire time, I wonder?
Aaron wandered off, not past, I mean, not past where he can see the rest of the party, but ostensibly not past where the rest of the party can see him. And he's just kind of like curled up, painting. Kind of deliberately not interacting with anyone.
If Lish was to have wandered over to him at some point during the day and looked at what he was drawing, what would he have hidden it, or?
And like, oh, hi Lish. And like not engage you in conversation at all. But he'd probably just keep painting.
Nudge
Got a
his
bunch of
entire
like
head under your arm to get a closer look.
Aw. Yeah, there's a bunch of like swirly stuff, a lot of symbols.
Kind of like his tattoos, or?
Roll a performance check or a dexterity check just to see how nice they look.
Yes. All right. So that's a natural 1.
Oh no!
It's not great. You also have paint all over your clothes.
Aaron, no! Oh.
Gets paint on my dog nose.
In that case, Aaron seems he's frustrated. Like he's really just trying to make this fucking look like something. And it
Listen,
doesn't.
if you've got paint all over your hands, you could always turn it into like a hand burnt art.
True.
Straight up finger painting.
Roll with the mistakes, man.
Lisha's gonna look at it, make it seem a little confused as to what on earth you're up to, and then go back to chasing the kids, and then I don't know, cut back to where we were before.
Demir is probably going to like kind of notice that Aaron is still off in the corner, with like a dark cloud over his head, and just kind of like,
Is it worth it?
to Lish.
Sorry, is what worth it?
It is.
Points over at
Oh, is it worth it to go over to Aaron? Ooh. Lish'll rub some of the paint off of his nose onto Demir's leg.
Oh. Okay.
Demir is going to stand up and go over to Aaron.
Hey, Demir.
I see you painted him.
Mostly on accident. Did you know painting is very hard?
Yes. Yes, it is. Do you need help?
Aaron's gears are fucking turning. Yeah. I don't think I'm getting anywhere
Okay.
with this.
Demir is going to
Sit down and just, okay, well, first of all, you need to hold your pen a little bit, the brush a little bit more delicately. You should be moving your whole arm, not just your wrist.
just kind of picking up where her last painting lesson went off.
Yeah. When it's being taught.
I hope you don't take what I said in the wrong way.
I don't know what wrong way would be, but I don't read any malice into it.
I'm just in case you can't tell, we're all kind of running away from things. So
in case
I can understand where you might be coming.
Yeah, and I get that. Just it's important. And regardless of how I made and am gonna continue making that decision, yours is an important viewpoint to consider. And yeah, I hope you don't take my following it as me not having appreciated you sharing it.
It's fine, but just so that I have a little bit of a better picture, this isn't legal trouble, is it? You have been very cryptic about the whole thing, and it wasn't until Toby pointed out the trial death sentence. It just,
Jesus Christ, Demir deadass just went, you don't need a lawyer, do you?
That is honestly.
I am running away as opposed to not being allowed back.
All right. I can understand that. Right. I just wanted to make sure that if it came down to it, we wouldn't be fighting a lot of gods.
I can't imagine there aren't people with great hostility towards me, but I didn't anticipate it. I think at worst we show up and have to immediately leave. And if that is the case, then yes, I will leave. I will want us to out of there and to not fight that, rather than pushing for something of my own.
All right. If it helps to know, I'm in legal trouble, so.
It's okay. I need a lawyer too.
And does a double take at that. He's like, well, I'm sure your story. And if you need help, I am here to give it. As much help as I might be.
Don't worry, Demir. I am the lawyer. I love this conversation. I'm sorry.
Fine. It's fine. It's been 7 years, so as long as I don't go showing my face where it's not welcome anymore, I think I might be fine.
And just nods.
Well, anyway, you need to do long strokes.
Yep.
What is the archdruidess up to? Is she just going around from people to people?
At this point, she has gone over to Offsea. And she's hearing him talk about what happened since he she's hearing about what he has to say.
I am eavesdropping.
I was gonna say Tobias, as the day goes on and like the final group comes and stuff, like he kind of is hovering near Oafsea, kind of just not interrupting their conversation, just kind of waiting for an opportunity / if Oafsea wants to do so, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oafsea is just talking about you had already gathered that after he left Tobias and in the homestead that they share, he had gone to the tribe to speak to the archdruidess when they requested his help, and he's describing he's talking about his journey northward, how it passed relatively uneventfully, and how he had eventually been able to make his way to the temple and find it, and he had started to set up camp there when he found out he something felt off to him. So he had pulled out his bow and he could hear something moving around in the trees at night. And he pulled out his bow, and essentially the Medusa had snuck up on him. And when he turned the corner to see what was happening and position himself so that he was in a place that he could defend himself, she caught him in her gaze.
All right. Does she respond to that?
She's just listening at the moment.
Okay. What to do?
Lish will come over and actually come and sit by Tobias's legs.
When Lish does come over, Tobias kind of like threads his fingers into his fur. Like Lish can kind of feel his nervous tremor picking up again. As the two just kind of stand by for Ophsi and the Archdruidess to finish their conversation.
And once Ophsi is done telling his story, he says to Archers, excuse me, I've been rather impolite. This is my son Tobias and one of his companions.
Tobias can't help but beam a little when Ophsi says his son. Like he stands up a little straighter. His like cheeks are a little flushed because he's like, "That's me."
Mm-hmm.
And when the Archer just like turns to look at them and stuff, he like quickly realizes and does like a respectable bow to her.
Mm-hmm. She will say, you do not have to bow. It is okay. It is a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure and honor is all mine. Archdruidess? He doesn't know what title to address her by other than Archdruidess, and so
You may call me the Archdruidess. That is perfectly okay.
Archdruidess it is. I know you've only just got here and are currently overseeing your tribe. But I was wondering if there would be an opportunity for me to ask you a question.
She looks at you and she has looks at you with her hazel eyes, and her gaze just sort of pierces through you. You get the impression that this is a woman who knows things and can understand people as soon as looking at them. And when she hears you speak, she nods and sort of waves her hand and says, perhaps we can take a walk together. Does that sound like a good idea to you?
For a moment, like when her gaze lands on him, Tobias kind of just freezes, and Lish can feel his fingers tightening in his fur. And like there's a moment of actual fear on Tobias's face as he kind of struggles not to shrink back from her gaze. But when she offers to go for a walk, he kind of like shakes himself out of it a bit before he goes, yes, that would, we can do that. Yes, that would be fine.
Let us walk then. And that's where we'll call session because we're running out of time.
Man.
This was so good.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. So many
That was
just like
that was probably
hard-hitting
one of the
conversations.
that
in
was probably
this.
one of the biggest things about Hawk that he could have revealed, honestly, today. So now you just guys need to just poke him about where he's actually from, because now only Esmeralda knows.
I'm not sure if Lish would know or care. He's just like, it's all humanity.
I mean, surely he's interested in the human question mark that was able to create such a wondrous being.
Vaguely, I guess.
I'm being yelled at. Anyway, glad you're having a good time, guys.
Yes, this is great.
Such a good time.
We finally pressured
Why
Aaron into
must
facing
we
his fears. We called out Demir.
I don't want to stop. I just want to keep going.
I was so scared that you were gonna leave before the Archdruidess. I'm like, I love her.
You guys are really gonna leave before I can introduce this awesome NPC?
Avery, you gotta bully us to stay to meet the people you want us to meet.
We're not even in the Feywild yet, and we're being asked to stay forever.
Wanna stay forever?
Hey, I mean, if you guys had left, I wouldn't have stopped you. It just means that Tobias doesn't get a hug from her or whatever.
Nah,
You gotta meet Toby's grandma.
y'all may have been ready to move on, but Demir would not. She just wasn't around for any of the, are we leaving? Are we leaving now? Are we leaving now? Conversations, because if she was, she would be like, no!
You're
I am
gonna
not
sit
ready
in
to
the
go.
woods and you're gonna like it.
I am not ready to go out into the woods again. We are
I need
staying
to
with some
reconcile with
people.
OC. He's not upset.
I'm very invested in the little bit of crackage we've gotten to Aaron. It's not fully cracked yet. This motherfucker keeps fucking dodging it. Just when I get close enough to crack him open.
He is not going to be able to dodge whenever we have either a burned village or a lot of angry people in front of us.
You gotta tell people what they're about to see, Aaron. You can't just
he's got a fucking
them.
deadline coming up.
Oh my god. Lish is like biting his fucking cheek to smithereens, having to hold this damned secret for you.
Anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
See you next time.
See you next
See you next
time.
time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.